Michelle.
Hello, Evan. And only Evan.
And only Evan. We have a third here who's quietly waiting for us to introduce him, which is so nice.
Yeah. We've got a really exciting guest today. So welcome to Spare Parts. Our guest has beautiful hair. He's wearing a really cool kind of Miami adjacent shirt. He has a fake-ish palm tree behind him. We'll get more info on that.
I think that's a real palm tree, and I think he cares for it deeply. He looks good.
And I want to know more about it. We're going to ask the hard-hitting questions today. Everybody, welcome Andrew Herr,
the mayor of Paris, Texas.
Jesus. Hi, guys. Thanks for having me on. What an intro that was. I'm in Toronto, not Miami, but...
You'd never know.
You always kind of seem like you're in Miami.
Yeah, you bring a little bit of Miami wherever you go. It's true.
Yeah, I guess I like flamboyant colors, I guess. To some extent. Which is kind of my, to some extent.
Yeah.
Just, I guess.
I can't believe that's what you feel it represents you in Miami. I'm more like the partying, the
guns.
EDM.
The guns?
They said the drugs, and I was like, wow, we're going to go right there? Okay, so.
I mean.
The guns and the drugs. Anyway. Sorry, should we start over this podcast?
No.
I guess I am a bit more of a degen than you portray on. No, I shouldn't say that. Never mind.
No.
I think you're accurately as much of a degen as is portrayed on the podcast, if that helps.
For sure. I feel like I've calmed down quite a bit. Anyways.
I can't wait to get into all of it. We're kind of like painting you in a weird you're not at all anything we just said.
That's not true. He's exactly that, but he's also so much more. He's also a well-read individual.
It's duality.
He's got a beautiful cat.
I do.
You know?
Yeah.
Tell us about your gorgeous cat. Nobody knows about this cat. Tell us about your cat.
Let's start there.
She is, these days she's pretty standard. Like, she wakes up, meows me to death, like at 5 a.m. to turn on all the taps these days. She's because cat.
You need to explain more about what that is.
Cat's like flowing water, and I think I've gone through 5 different cat fountains. She has no interest. She likes me getting up.
Whoa.
She basically has me whipped, super whipped.
Yeah.
And she's really high energy, but she's awesome. I love her most days. Some days I'm shouting some profanities at her, but generally, I love her. Yeah.
What's her name?
Uma.
Yeah, I know that.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, right.
I wanted the audience to know.
Freaky breed is she again?
She's a Bengal.
Yeah, so she's an exotic pet. So to lean into the whole Miami
this is what I'm saying.
drug dealer, weapons dealer vibe that Andrew's putting out right now, exotic cat is really high up on the list. He's got a little Tiger King vibe.
This
is kind
Tiger
of what I'm
King
saying.
was like a hillbilly from Oklahoma.
No, but it's the same shit. It's just a different font, right?
Yeah,
it's the same guy.
I've always
just having fun.
Yeah. I like to have fun. So do you guys, though.
I know.
Right?
Yeah, but we have a lot to learn about you, a lot to learn from you about having fun.
I think that's very, very true. You are good for us.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I think we are also good for you, which is probably why we've always gotten on.
I feel like I've kept you alive a couple times, but you also have made me have some of the most fun nights of my life.
Yeah, I love seeing you guys. I miss seeing you guys regularly, I must say.
Yeah, I saw Herzy the other day, which was awesome. We got to play fake lovers for a test screening for a thing, which was very funny.
Really?
Yeah, we were just looking into each other's eyes longingly, and Herzy kept going, "Stop!"
Wait.
It was for Jacob's show. He was just
for Jacob's
they were testing out a big LED, like a 180 LED.
It was amazing.
It was really cool to see.
It was really cool. We showed up in tuxes and just flirted with each other for 4 hours. It was really fun.
Wait, what a perfect day.
It was a perfect day.
That's so fun. Did you guys go for a walk after?
Oh, I wish. You had to get to work. I had to get to work. Got this podcast, man.
So we'll
second date's coming up.
Yeah.
We did see each other. There was. We saw each other the week before as well on accident. Mm-hmm. I was just walking my dog, and he was walking Gus, little Gusser, Stegosaurus dog, who cutie. And oh my God, Gus did not want to have anything to do with Dewey.
Dewey's big though and high energy and was but Gus is kind of a grumpy old man. He doesn't like younger dogs.
Right. He did this little like grrr thing. Like it's like it wasn't scary at all, but I was worried that Gus's heart was going to explode because he's like grrr.
It's that Chihuahua snarl. It's
yeah.
How's Clementine?
That's really cute. Oh, the best.
Yeah. She's so cute.
Yeah, she's the best. She's so cute. She's just like this little lady that is becoming more and more a woman that lives in my house. I'm sorry, but she's like less and less dog and more adult woman.
I believe that.
This says so much more about your psychological state than it does about Clementine's progression.
But I'm not the only one who is experiencing this. Like everyone who babysits her, she just kind of like lounges around. She's got a bit of cat energy.
Oh, okay.
Actually. Yeah.
But you gotta earn it?
She has, a little bit. Like she's a bit, like she's sweet, but she's also kind of like over it a lot. And she's a bit demanding in this way that I like. And I don't know. She's just, don't they say the dogs kind of pick up on your personality? So I'm kind of exposing myself.
Yeah, and I was going to say, you are only now becoming a woman. So that.
Yeah, I just got there. Yeah,
Congrats.
It's been really cool. Thank you. Thank you so much.
You definitely have cat energy, though. And I would say Herzy's more of that dog energy. So it's a nice little counterpoint.
That's so true. It's like you and I, Evan, are cats, which is probably why we need to have dogs in our life. And then Andrew's got a bit more of a dog personality, which is probably why you're more drawn to cats.
Yes.
Do you think that's a fair thing to say?
Yeah, I think so. I also like, I don't know, I had like I mean, I love dogs too, though.
I know you do. I know you do. Yeah.
You're a big pet person in general,
animals.
but you chose to get a cat. And you like, I remember when you were obsessing over this cat. I remember before you got it, you were like showing me photos every day. You were like, oh, but Bengal cats are going to be, they're so tall and they're so smart and you have to feed them raw meat. And like,
I didn't say raw meat. I have a better memory than you, but I definitely gushed over this cat. Which is, like, I heard from one woman there's a huge red flag, but I don't know.
Oh, that you have this cat because it's like an exotic animal?
Like having like photos of your cat is like a bit of a red flag.
Whoa, I think she's the red flag.
Yeah, I think that would be the opposite.
Yeah, I did. I mean, I personally didn't. I was like, well, what?
Well, then goodbye.
Yeah.
We'll see ya.
Wait, is this a person that you were on a date with?
Kind of, yeah. Kind of, yeah.
Kind of, yeah.
It was like a little bit more informal.
Herzy's so cool. I love the idea that you can't even pin down Herzy for a date. You can't even be like, hey, are we on an actual date? You're like, kinda. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. See how the night goes. It's just like you can't even.
I mean, I just got out of a long relationship, so I wasn't really emotionally ready to. Right. But now I'm seeing someone who's lovely, so we'll see how that goes.
Oh, and she likes that you have a cat.
She has two herself.
She doesn't know yet. He hasn't revealed that
the
he has
other
a cat
woman,
yet to
which
her.
is Uma.
Exactly. But she's a runt.
Yeah.
She's like the runt of 10, and she's really small. She's like basically still the size of a kitten, like forever.
Oh, good for you for dating a runt. That's nice.
Yeah. Well, I didn't have a choice, but just worked out that way. That was stupid. Anyways,
wait, do you know that Clementine's also a runt? Is Dewey a runt? Dewey seems like a runt.
I don't know. Whoa, hey, whoa.
Well,
okay, whoa. Yo. I know he's got short legs, but he's a pretty thick boy.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I actually have no idea.
I love a runt.
Yeah.
Okay. To kind of, I want to sort of go back a little bit, get back in line. I guess how did this all start for you when we're thinking about Letterkenny? How did you get involved? Like, what is your kind of origin story with this show? Just to sort of kick this podcast off in a professional way.
Yes, for sure. I mean, as Dylan, I've brought up many times. Dylan and I, how we kind of came into the industry is kind of wild.
You know, Dylan's not here right now, right? You can talk with. You don't even have to reference Dylan at all in this if you don't want to.
I have to because this is. They're connected in this way. I was going to UBC. Yeah. Unfortunately, this guy that was a friend of my friend tragically kind of took his own. Not kind of. He took his own life. I don't know why I said kind of. And Dylan filled his spot. And so that's how I met Dylan. And he's like, you should join this hockey team called the Trappers, which had Jared on it and Nathan on it, and Tyler sometimes played on it. And I was kind of all over the place at the time, so it's I signed up, and then I just always like never showed up. And then James Moore, who was running the team, basically sent me this like scathing email saying you've paid up, but you say you're gonna show up and then you never do. I'm always like down guys. Are you gonna like play? If not, then just like essentially fuck off. And I said, no, I'll play. I'm sorry. I'm really, really sorry. And actually good friends with them now. But that's how I kind of... And then Dylan and I did this movie together. We played Mark and Marty Howe on CBC. And shortly after that, Jared was doing the Letterkenny Problems YouTube videos. And he's like, you two should play, Riley and Jonesy. And I would say this, at the time, I really didn't recognize the significance of what was happening. But then, especially because it was like early YouTube and it was less like YouTube, TikTok, like constantly like things in your face. There's a little less at the time. YouTube was a little more new. And then, it blew up. And then a year and a half from then, New Metric and Bell put it together, and you guys came on, and we started making
That's crazy.
Weird little show.
Yeah, we always have I feel like we all have stories about doing short films for friends.
Yeah.
Doing like little things for friends, and you're always just like, oh, this is a fun thing to hang out. Like even just hanging out with you the other day. We shot a little thing. Yeah. That's not gonna become anything. Yeah. It's not like you ever expect to be on a show for 8 years after doing something like that.
I also didn't realize that it was such a quick turnaround between that YouTube short that you guys released just kind of on your own and then a network getting involved. But I guess it really blew up that quickly.
Yeah.
Like, was it pretty overnight that you guys got? How many views did it get? Like,
I think
millions,
like in a
right?
week it got... In a week it had like over 3 million, 4 million views. But it was the fifth video of the other, like there was 4 videos that came before it, and so it was slowly getting more and more views. And then
Play Fun Games had already done some like the chirping about being in a whatever.
Yeah, they did like
doing the baseball
Jays
stuff
fans, and then they had the skit, like the one before it was about skids, and then the hockey player one. Really?
Yeah, whatever happened to that guy? I don't even know that guy.
I have no.
It's so weird. Like, I feel like I should know this guy who played the original Skid.
I think they're a real Skid.
He's just a guy? Yeah. No, come on. He's like a tall, handsome dude. There's no way.
Maybe. I don't know.
I gotta ask Keith. I don't know why I've never asked him.
Ask Keith, yeah.
Andrew, what's that rumbling sound? Or is it coming from Evan?
No, it's me. It's a garage door right below me.
Also, you sound like you're in so much more downtown Toronto than me. There's like sirens, and there's a guy in the alleyway going like, "Fuck you!"
Where I am is
awesome.
So central, hectic at times. Yeah,
I love it for you.
Would you like to give the audience your full address?
Yeah,
no,
and if you wouldn't, I will for you.
It's Street 6.
Yeah.
One time, Hersey saw a fire outside his window. A mattress was on fire. True story.
I actually me and this other guy put it out, and I
didn't know you put it out. You were the firefighter.
Yeah, and I was wasted. It was like,
dude, if Hersey is saving your neighborhood drunk, that's a wild neighborhood.
It was just like they actually finally figured it out. There was I know we're getting off topic here, but they put like a metal gate.
This is exactly what we want to talk about. A metal
gate around it. But I came home at like 3 a.m, ordered pizza. I was really drunk. I took my pants off and was eating pizza, and I look out the window and the whole dumpster is on fire. And I'm like, and I see these 3 kids that were there, like looking at it. So I assumed it was them wrongly, and like after the police talked to me. So I was like yelling at them, and I like quickly put my pants on.
pants off, hand in a fist pizza, from the patio. Yeah. You darn kids! Yeah, like get out of
basically. And then I chased them for a little bit, and then I was like, "Oh shit, there's a fire!" It's like
you chased them.
Well, it's like it was like I don't want to get, but like fires. They could have really hurt somebody. Like it was climbing up the building.
Oh,
like,
you don't got to tell me. I get it. Yeah.
So, and I was also a little bit inebriated, so I wasn't thinking clearly. Anyways, I put it out, And then the police came at my door at like 7 a.m. the next day. And like, at the body cam, like my eyes were like so red. They're like, did you get a good look at them? I'm like, no, not really.
Dude, I don't even know who you are. I don't know what is going on right now.
But yeah, anyways.
When you say you put it out, I feel like you're really glossing over something.
How did you put it out?
I ran into my hallway and grabbed 2 fire extinguishers and came out. And
whoa, good for you. Fire safety.
Yeah,
fire extinguishers. That's awesome.
Pants still
Pants
off?
were on.
Yeah, pants naked. He actually took his underwear off too, just to scare the kids away extra.
Pants were on.
Okay.
Okay, fair.
Cool.
Anywho, I don't know how we got there, but...
well, downtown, you're a guy living a downtown life,
Do you miss it at all, Michelle?
Sometimes, yeah. I do. I lived in Toronto for like almost 7 years, so it was a really good time. But I don't know. I was thinking about it today as I was walking in the beautiful sunlight down to the beach, which I go to every single day.
Sounds so boring. Go on.
And let my dog swim, and it's warm enough to just wear like a light jacket. And I was kind of like, I think my mental health would take a pretty intense dive if I moved back to Toronto, but I like full time.
Yeah.
But I would love to go back to Toronto more because I think, there's pros and cons.
When you have, like,
I
good
miss
friends.
the energy.
Yeah.
I do have really good friends.
Yeah.
When you guys are there,
Yeah.
like it's just always fun when I go to Toronto. I'd like to come back maybe this summer. We'll do like a little.
Nice.
Be fun to do like a week in Toronto.
Yeah.
We can do some podcast stuff. We can go to Paris, Texas.
Texas.
If you can get us in.
Can we go to maybe we should go to Justin Timberlake if he's on tour again? Or
Yeah.
I mean, if he's on tour again, I can't miss another world tour.
You guys we're not going to either of those. That we are going to go to cool cocktail bars.
Yeah.
I am
Yeah.
going to lead the charge this time.
Sounds good.
Also, I've been listening to a new cocktail podcast called Cocktail College, and they mention Toronto all the time because they use it as a touch because it's based in New York, but they reference Toronto as like a cool place to get cocktails. And I'm like, that's
Really?
true.
Yeah.
I'm glad this is known because I have always felt this way, but I've never known that people know that. And it just for sure is. Like, there's a couple places you go to, you're like, God damn.
Yeah.
There's a new Japanese cocktail bar through a yogurt shop. You have to go through a fridge in a yogurt shop.
Really?
It's amazing. Yeah.
What's the one that
After 7 is so good.
Black Dice Cafe. I think you took me to that
Black
one.
Dice. Don't tell anybody about Black Dice though. Black Dice is a secret.
Oh, whoops.
those are industry people. No, it's cash. It's a cash only, and they do an Asahi jet keg. So it's the best beer you'll find in Toronto because they like fly in these jet kegs, and it's a $20 pint, but it is so good.
Yeah.
It's so worth it. It's the freshest, cleanest Asahi you'll have in your life.
Okay, well, I want to go.
Yeah, let's do it.
Victoria's. There's some really great restaurants and bars, obviously, but as far as nightlife, like it's not really doing it for me in that way.
Fair.
I can see that.
That's okay. Again, can't have everything everywhere, but yeah, I do miss it. But I'll come back for a visit soon. How long have you lived in Toronto now? Because when you booked Letterkenny, you were
Vancouver,
like fresh out of UBC, Vancouver.
Yeah,
and then yeah. So how long have you been in Toronto?
3 years. Coming on 4 years.
That seems like not enough time. I think you've been here for like 20. That's crazy.
Well, I moved.
Wow.
We were doing the first tour, and then COVID happened, so I'd shipped all my stuff, and I moved to Toronto in the middle of COVID. So that time period.
Wait, you were in Vancouver that whole time before that?
Yeah.
Why does it feel like you super weren't? That's so weird to me. That's really confusing.
I don't know.
I have this memory of us smoking cigars and drinking cappuccinos in the park.
Yeah, that was during
and
COVID.
I'm like, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just taking care of those lungs, baby.
God, guys, missing the point entirely.
We were outside at least.
Listen, we got into cigar culture. It was
did.
It was a unique time. Really expensive hobby. Jesus.
It is.
Really weakening the lungs.
Well, you
Oh
don't.
God, I felt like
this
shit all the
respiratory
time.
illness.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can still hear the wheeze in my throat when I laugh.
I know. That was really on display there.
You're not supposed to inhale.
Okay.
Yes.
To take it back a little bit. Okay, so you get the show, and then were you kind of just given the part because you guys had been a part of the web thing that blew up, and obviously you guys work so well as a team, and we'll get to that because your work on the show honestly is so good, and it's been really cool for Evan and I to go back to these first seasons. I don't know if you've done that.
No.
But
You're fucking good in it. You're like
really-
amazing.
and you're always
you.
good.
Yeah,
but
what
it's-
happened? No.
No,
It's a good.
No.
Yeah, seriously.
No, absolutely not. But it only gets better, truly.
Yeah.
And I'm not just blowing smoke. But you guys came in with such a like solid character choice for both of you, and also together.
Yeah.
Like the dynamic, it's just so perfectly done. So you guys were just given the part, no questions asked, or did you have to kind of go through the audition process a bit?
Didn't go through the audition process, but full kudos to Kiso. I think he really backed us and made sure that we got the job. Like, I think Belle pushed back saying, I mean, if my memory serves me correct, Kiso said Belle did push back on getting auditions, and he said, no, these two guys are the guys. And I'll give him even more credit. Like, when you watch the YouTube series, like, I mean, Dylan was more established than me. I was still fresh out of EBC, but I didn't have a ton of acting experience. So, and I'm like kind of briefly in it. So he definitely took a chance.
Took a risk.
Took a risk for sure. But Dylan and I had been roommates. We'd been in a movie together. We had like, I would say, an effortless chemistry between the two of us. We almost have like a brotherly relationship. And I think that came through from day one.
Yeah.
You know?
You guys are also like a little bit yin and yang in this funny way, whereas you're so able to like connect and have that synergy, but at the same time, you are almost each other's like, it's like you make up the characters. I'm not talking about you personally. The characters make like one full boy.
Yes. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes, they do. They very much do.
It's like you guys are like a split egg, and then together it's one solid egg. I almost said a split chromosome, and then I was like, I don't know if that's okay.
I don't think that's okay.
I don't think that's what I. That's not what I meant.
I do.
Like,
You
know.
You guys are one brain cell that's come together to make
to create one kind of perfect hockey boy.
Yes, I agree. Yeah, it was a double-headed dragon. We also, I remember, I think we'd always talk a little bit about our backstories where we probably both didn't have like a father figure in our lives, and so the hockey
characters?
Riley and Jonesy probably didn't have a strong influence from like their fathers, and they kind of really relied on each other in some ways. And then we got like a lot of concussions,
It's interesting because your actual real lives, like you guys both are from families with a bunch of boys. You both come from those backgrounds with like a bunch of brothers, and like you both have like strong father figure characters in real life. Like both of you have pretty powerful, interesting fathers.
Yes.
Like I feel like you both have that.
Yeah.
It's interesting that that's how you guys arrived there.
Well, it's kind of interesting. Oh, sorry.
No, please. Sorry, I'm really bad at interrupting people. It's like one of the I'm trying to work on it. It's like my New Year's resolution. So please carry on.
It's really hard over Zoom. Like it's just like not, it is what it is. But I was gonna say it's kind of like a weird theme throughout Letterkenny. I think it's just also because we don't have any parents ever shown on the show, but there are these like similar kind of like, why are these people so codependent with their crews when they're like in their 20s and 30s? And it's like, what happened in all of their childhoods? It's like maybe there is this kind of theme of these broken people who have become so peer focused.
Yeah, but like in a positive way.
It's
like it's kind of like Neverland. They never really They never really grow
Lost
up.
Boys.
Yeah, the Lost Boys, yeah.
I love this canon idea that like all the parents just disappeared one day in some horrible sci-fi event.
Right,
like they
like
were
the
The leftovers, yeah. It's like the
leftovers.
It's like, well, now we only have each other.
I guess I'm running this farm.
There's only one kid in town, and his name's Samuel, and that's it. He's like, this is the new generation.
Oh man. What's it like for you guys rewatching? Because I've been listening to you guys, I admit sporadically, but I've been really enjoying it.
Yeah, I was going to say, don't lie.
No, I have been listening to you guys, but like sporadically.
I know. You can only hear yourself being talked about going to Paris, Texas.
Yeah, I just zoomed to that part, and then I just listened to it over and over again. That's what's it like rewatching the show?
Weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird and like better than I thought it was going to be. I was kind of, I just was not sure if I was going to
say it.
cringed.
You
out
were
by
dreading I was dreading watching the show.
Yeah.
I was.
Yeah.
I was kind of like, oh no. We've really committed to doing something here, because right off the bat we're like, we're gonna watch all 80 episodes, and then the first episode starts playing, and I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
And then it's so funny.
Yeah.
You guys were so funny right off the bat that I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
You helped me. So
it's
thank
made
you.
like us kind of realize that the show is like, I understand why people like it on a whole other level. Like I was always proud of it. I feel like we can all feel proud of the work we did, and we had fun and it meant a lot to us, and all of those things were always true. But to go back and rewatch it with really fresh eyes has kind of been wild, because I'm like, oh, I understand why this really connected for so many people, because it's actually good and I can objectively watch it now that there's been a little bit of space between.
Yeah, I'm like a fan now. I'm like a fan of the show. But last podcast, unfortunately, last podcast episode, I watched along the episode with the script in my hand, and it was such a bad idea. Like I was just so into it. I was so obsessed, and I was like, that was improvised. That wasn't improvised. This song was supposed to be here. He should have said this line. Like I was losing. I'm not going to do that again, because I felt crazy, first of all. And I was like, I was like, I'm the type of person who's about to send me an email being like, so really at the end of what's Rold's real first name, Evan? Like, you better tell me.
You're a super fan.
I'm a super fan all of a sudden, but I'm going to ease off. I think
you tried it on. You put that hat on for like research
it did
purposes.
Not look good.
Yeah.
It was an ugly hat for me.
I was like, try a different hat now.
Can I play something for you guys? I'm going to play you just something. This is called, I'm gonna preface it. It's called Letterkenny. Okay. This was just in my inbox just now, and I thought that it would be funny to play this for you. Okay.
I'm scared. Okay.
Well, you kind of should be. You guys keep chatting for a second. I thought this was going to be way quicker.
Okay.
I mean,
sounds good. I feel like when we're in it, it is kind of hard to recognize the show's significance in a way, and seeing it from an outside lens. So I am probably due to, I don't love watching myself, but I feel like maybe after like such a long time, I'll just be able to watch the whole thing. 'Cause like you, my favorite characters low-key are the Skids. I just think they're so funny.
Shout out.
Yeah.
So funny.
Like,
yeah.
It's just everything. They're such creatures, but their wordplay is on another level. And I mean, right from the EpiPen fight, I just really, really enjoyed watching.
The EpiPen fight was something else. Again, we want to bring that back. So, I mean, anytime you want to watch an episode with us, feel free. I just figured I would give you the freedom to not prepare too much for today and just to be able to hang out with us, because I knew that you like that sometimes.
We just wanted to chat with you and kind of like interview you a little bit, which is sort of fun. We're just this is fun. Yeah. Okay, Evan, you ready?
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna play this, and then we can talk about this. Okay.
I'm buying some jerky Letterkenny. That's what I appreciate about you. Let's take about 5 to 10% off over there. Have a Donnybrook with a DJs. Have a dart, Hoover Schneef. Make sure to add allegedly. Bag some snipes and get some toe curling in. Berta, all the time I'm quoting lines from Letterkenny. Wishing I could have a puppers or some good old Gus and Brew.
So you get the idea. It's a song that was sent to my index called Letterkenny by Mikey Mason. And it's my nightmare, obviously. But it's also like the guy's got a nice voice and he's singing the song and it's great. But also it's so funny hearing all of those things back to back, because you're like, it does make you feel crazy, right?
Yeah, it's like it's too close to us for us to be able to listen to that.
Yeah,
exactly. Like I was watching your faces listening, and I was like, your skin was crawling, because you're like, oh no, like my life is being boiled down to like 15 phrases.
It was catchy.
That's
though.
My life.
It was kind of catchy.
That's what I'm saying with these fans of Letterkenny. Like, to anyone listening who is like a fan enough to make a song, that was
Mikey Mason, by the way. It was called Letterkenny by Mikey Mason.
Like, yeah, I don't know if I've ever liked anything that much. Is that sad?
Oh my gosh, no! I totally get what you're. I wish.
Yeah.
I know.
With every
it's like
bone in my body.
Wonder that I'm like,
amazing.
Am I missing a chip?
Yeah, like imagine being able to sit down and write a song about something you love.
Crazy.
Like that you're just a fan of. with no intent to like make money off of it or like, you know what I mean? Like,
just for the love.
Just for the love of the game.
The love of the game.
Jinx.
Why have I heard that song before is what I want to know.
Because you probably...
I think I've heard it as well before. I think this...
How have you guys heard this song?
I just swear like Jared, like he might have sent it to Jared or Dylan. I feel like I've heard that song before.
I could totally see Dylan playing it.
Dylan loves country.
Unironically loving it in a different way.
He loves country.
Dylan he doesn't have that same filter that we do of like self-criticism.
No, he's pure. He's got childlike wonder.
Yeah, he's pure.
Yeah, he'd listen to that and be like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that.
He still has childlike wonder.
Nice.
That sometimes I'm like, oh, that'd be like
Sick.
Yeah.
Dylan's the type of guy who could write a rap about a topic he loves.
Yes.
You know what I mean? He could do that.
Yeah.
Shout out DP. Shout out, buddy.
Yeah. Does it ever? What was your relationship like with Dylan at this point? What's your vibe with him?
Like currently?
Currently?
Yeah. Well, yeah, sure.
I mean, I feel like we message. We chat like quite a bit on. I don't know where it's going, but I wrote this crazy film that his fiance and their company likes, so they're shopping it around. So I talked to them quite a bit on that. No idea where it's going to go, to be honest. It's one of those things I wrote. It's like the first feature I wrote, and there's parts I like about it, and there's other parts I'm like,
Of course.
And then
do you have a different working relationship? Like, is your working relationship with Dylan very different than your friendship relationship? Like, is he a different guy when he's working?
No, it's the same. No, well, like he's a little more focused, but like it's the same. I'd say, I think we're like brothers. Like we could not talk for 3 months and get together, and it's like nothing's ever changed. If that makes sense. Or we could talk once a week. Like we're both pretty busy. He's a busy guy. He's shooting a movie called Breeders, so I don't bug him a ton, but...
Called what?
Yeah, did you say Breeders?
It's a horror film called Breeders, yeah.
Oh, I don't like that at all. I mean, I'll watch it.
I understand why you kind of cruised past it.
What the fuck?
He's shooting something called
Breeders. It's the story of Dylan. Anyway, moving on.
Oh my God.
Anyways...
For those of you who don't know, Dylan fucks.
Okay, Evan.
He's the one who said Dylan.
I started it.
I'm getting in trouble now. Thanks, Jersey.
My bad. No, but I have a great. I think a great relationship with DP. I think I have a great relationship with everybody.
Yeah, but it's different. It's different for you to have a great relationship with Dylan because of how closely you guys did work together and how sometimes you would rub each other the wrong way just because you were literally a two-headed dragon. Yeah. So there were times when it's like you're sharing one change room and they would just be like, yeah, we don't have enough change rooms. Like, Percy and Dylan are going to share a change room. Like, you would get that.
There's definitely, I think when I was younger, I was intimidated. When we first started off, I was for sure like intimidated by like how hockey he was.
Because you're not very hockey. You've played it a lot, but you're not the same level of hockey.
Yeah, and he's like, as time goes on, he's like more of like a hippie than a hockey player. But no, I think Dylan every now and then rubbed each other the wrong way, but we never really, if anything, we dealt with it like on the spot and then kind of moved on.
Did it ever get to blows? Did you guys ever have a fight physically?
There's definitely a couple times where,
I like how Michelle's surprised. I'm surprised you guys don't beat each other's faces all the time because you're such meatheads.
I do remember where we were driving. This is the first thing that comes to mind. Is we were driving somewhere, some set on Letterkenny, and Chance the Rapper's "Cocoa Butter Kisses" was playing, and Dylan was rapping over top of it. And no offense, Deeps, but it was like
it was 5 a.m. It was
like really early, and it was like pretty bad. And all I said was, "Hey, Deeps, why don't you let Chance do the rapping?" he did not. He did not appreciate that. He was pretty upset for a little bit.
He would have had that would have hurt his feelings.
I could see him like
he wasn't mad. He
was like hurt and brooding. And then I eventually said, "I'm sorry," and like we worked it out. But it was early in the morning. Yeah, it was a lot.
This is a cute version of a fight. Yeah. This is like best case scenario for working with somebody this closely for that long. And then when we ask, "What's your biggest blowout?" and it's that's best case scenario.
Yeah.
Can you stop rapping at 5 a.m, please?
That's how I know you guys are truly dear friends.
Especially because both of you have been in so many actual physical fights, like on the ice. Like you were both. That was your role, right? Were you both
can we
not
talk about
enforcers?
that for a second? Yeah. What was your position?
I was like a third line grinder at the time. I just hit a lot of bodies. I was pretty fast, but I had brick hands, just like Dylan. Couldn't score a goal to save my life. So I threw my body around a lot. I did penalty kills, similar to DP. I think DP ultimately fought quite a bit more than me, but I was not afraid to throw down from time to time when I was playing. I wouldn't say it was like my main job, but shit happens sometimes.
Right, and it was Dylan's main job, from what I understand. He was a bit of like
I think he like really identified as a fighter more than me. Like he had like the Patty Kane mullet, and he was pretty thick guy, like quite a bit thicker than he is now, and he just had like he looked like a fighter. But Dylan and I both have had our fair share of fights back in the day.
Crazy.
Can I do recall, and when Dylan comes on, I'd love to like ask him about it if he's comfortable, but he shared a photo of himself, I think when he was like a kid, like 14, and he looks like he got the shit kicked out of him in this way that is, it's almost like he was showing it and he had reflected upon it. I think at the time it was a bit of a point of pride. Like his face is completely busted. Yeah. And then showing it to me as an adult, he was like, I'm actually realizing like how disturbing this is and how this was like glorified. Has hockey changed? Like I feel like even in 2000s, like 2010s era, the like, what is the term? What is that movie that Jay Baruchel did? Goon. Yeah, like this kind of like style of hockey playing. Has that really? That's kind of changed, right? Like it's not as aggressive.
No, I think it's changed. I honestly don't. I'm not like I don't follow hockey that close. I said hockey, I meant hockey.
This is how much he knows hockey. That's why he calls it
that. You know it as much as I do.
Hershey's, if we want to ask questions about F1 or if we want to ask questions about
literature,
literature,
Noam Chomsky,
film. He's a big film buff, but film. F1, I feel like that's your biggest sport. No?
I loved I watched it a little bit less because my favorite race car driver was Kimi Räikkönen. This like back in university, this Turkish girl and I.
What does that mean?
Is he retired? Did he explode in a ball of flame? What was
he's retired. Yeah. He's retired, but he was like he was a true maverick. In the sense that he didn't use the simulator. He kind of was just a pure driver. Anyways, I don't want to go.
A simulator would be pretending to like you're on a.
The new generation, they practice a lot. Like whereas Kimi Räikkönen, one time he got a DNF, which is an engine failure, and he went straight to his yacht in Monaco and proceeded to get wasted during the race. So I kind of liked that style of driver who's a little bit loose.
You like that.
You like that. He's like trying to paint himself. He's like, I'm not Miami at all, but my favorite thing that an athlete has ever done is to go onto his yacht and get obliterated in front of the media.
I just thought it was
in Monaco.
I thought it was just so because they're so they care so much about their image now, and they're very curated. Whereas he was a little rough around the edges. He was like this Finnish guy.
Would you love to play him in a movie if you could? If somebody gave you that opportunity?
I don't think I could. He's like so Finnish, like blonde. Like there's no way I could. Like there's
they could dye your hair. You know what they could. If they can make Benedict Cumberbatch a fucking dragon,
True.
I think they can make you a blonde guy.
I would love to play Kimi Räikkönen in a movie. That'd be amazing. But I'm not gonna. I'm not
do you
gonna
think you
hold
could
my
portray
breath.
his personality?
Yeah, I think so.
Do you think you could
I'd
do
have
that?
to learn Finnish, but I could do that.
Hey, you could do that. You're a scholar. You're a bit of a scholar.
Yeah. He's a smart boy. I remember the first time I ever saw Hershey like with a book in his hand. I was like, "What?" It was like such an alarming scene. But so is Dylan. To be fair, like they're both readers. But like Hershey actually has like little glasses that he puts on when he reads, and he's always reading. What and
I'm sorry, but you have a Harry Potter tattoo.
That's true. You do.
People don't know this.
And he's getting another. Like he wants another one.
Yes, there it is.
He loves books. He loves to read.
One time, my friend's ex-boyfriend now, he got a new tattoo, and he's like showed the tattoo, and I was like, "Oh, you got us like the Sorting Hat."
Nice.
Oh no, what was it?
And he went, no, it's a shark tooth.
Michelle, if you don't know for sure, this is a rule for everyone out there. If you don't know for sure what you're looking at, don't fucking say anything.
I emasculated him in like the craziest way. No, it's a tough shark tooth. I was like, no, that literally looks like the Sorting Hat.
How big? How big was it?
It was big enough, and it was like a slouchy hat. I was like, sorry, that guy, whoever did this to you, does not know what a shark tooth looks like.
Oh man. Yeah.
And then I asked him if he was a Hufflepuff. Anyways,
shit. And that's when he got really mad.
And then he got really pissed.
But before we move on, what's your house?
Yeah, what's your house?
Hersey.
I feel like I would be a Gryffindor. I feel like
main character energy.
Well, maybe not even. Maybe it'd be a Ron Weasley. I don't know. Maybe, but like
Oh
no, you're not as like.
You're not like that.
I feel like
don't talk about my friend like that.
Because I know that the story, like Slytherin. There's so many themes behind the movie.
You can't pick Slytherin.
I'm like
Evan Slytherin.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, you're a Slytherin.
What is this? You guys definitely cannot both call me a Slytherin and feel like you can get away with that.
Hear me out.
Whoa, that's a pretty Slytherin thing to say. I apologize. Take that back.
Yeah, because you are.
First of all, take that back. I'd like to retract that statement.
No, you're so nice, but you have this like edge.
I know I can be mean. People don't know that I can be mean, though. You shouldn't tell everyone publicly that I can be mean.
But I like that about you, because I mean, as we all know, can also be a little
I know.
bit mean.
Maybe you're Slytherin too, then, Dad.
I think you might be both Slytherin. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you're Gryffindor. Although I've always, every time I do a quiz, it comes out as Gryffindor. I also feel like their colors are more autumn energy. Anyways, where did we get off?
Yeah.
Michelle, what other tattoos have you insulted on people's bodies? What else are we?
Once I went on a date with a guy who had a Canadian flag tattoo, but instead of the maple leaf in the middle, it was a pit bull's head.
No. Who are you going on dates with? Like what?
How do you even know?
I was 19.
Okay.
How do you even know that that's what it was? Because like, what does that even? The tattoo doesn't make sense in my head.
Well, he was just probably trying to be like tough.
Yeah.
It's so embarrassing.
Was it on his arm? His like shoulder?
No, it was on his back. We went to the beach, and I went.
That's what you want to hear when you take your shirt off in front of a girl.
Scared? I'm gonna go get an ice cream, and then I ran home.
Beach dates. That must be a popular thing in Vancouver. Hersey, did you go on beach dates too?
Yeah.
In Vancouver?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, meet by the beach. I never got to do that. That's so cool.
There was also like the drum circle on Third Beach. There's Wreck Beach is like kind of dicks out policy.
Naked.
Yeah.
Naked.
Would you ever go on a first date to the naked beach?
Of course. That's a first date?
Hersey,
no.
I feel like he did.
A first date?
No.
Well, it's kind of like that show. What was that UK show?
Naked Attraction. We were talking about this.
Naked Attraction.
I was obsessed with that show.
You were obsessed with Naked Attraction. I'd love to hear more about this.
When Soph and I were together, she was getting her master's in the UK, and they play it at 9 p.m. on Channel 4. Like it's on regular cable TV.
Europe's so cool, man.
Yeah.
Like, what? We're such losers.
And so we watched this. They love their dating shows. There's like so many other dating shows, but this was one of them, and it was the most crazy because it's like they put 6 people in tubes. Each tube's different color, and they're naked under there. And a person comes out, and they're like, "Hi, I'm Liam, an IT from Manchester." And like,
also flawless Manchester. Let's go.
Really good.
And then like
hire this guy. Really good.
And then the tubes come up, and it shows everyone's genitals. And then he eliminates one of them based off their genitals. It's crazy. And then it goes up again. They eliminate another person, then their face. You have a question?
Michelle has a question, apparently.
I have a question. Okay, when you say genitals, because if it's guys and they're standing there, you can really see what's going on. But for girls, you're standing there, you can't see what's going on.
You'd be surprised.
You would think so.
You'd be surprised.
But when you watch the show, it's like women's vaginas look very different.
Well, of course, but I'm assuming you're standing.
They get in there.
Right in there. Like
there's some of them are shaved in a certain way. Some of them have like certain types of like tattoos down there.
Like
there's piercings.
What
think
else
about the
is
type
there,
of
Evan?
person. Well, think about the type of person who's going to go on a naked dating show. They're going to be doing interesting stuff with their body.
They're making some choices.
Yeah.
They're making choices,
yeah.
right? There was this one dude we were talking
would
about
do
this.
a
He had an
lightning bolt.
elephant, and his penis is the trunk.
And he had one leg also, so it was just like, whoa, what's going on?
His big thing though was once they like fully revealed him and they were talking, like they ask you what's your least favorite thing about your body and your favorite thing about your body. That's like the last question they ask you. And he was like, my least favorite thing about my body is my tattoo because I was drunk when I got it. Like this is his only tattoo.
It's a big ass tattoo to be drunk for, but
I know.
Hey, Andrew, speaking of interviewing, what is your favorite thing about your body and your least favorite thing about your body?
That's a put on the spot question.
Can you get naked for us for the?
And we'll be the judges.
Judge, yeah.
Naked and
feel
was
like-
it naked and
Because
afraid?
we've seen. I've definitely seen you naked.
I feel like generally I appreciate that I'm like fairly handsome guy, I guess.
I like that you can admit that. I like that you can admit that.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's better than the alternative, respectfully.
Hey,
Respectfully to all those uggos out
To all
there.
of us.
That's what he
Hey,
said.
what?
Yeah,
What?
No,
we're
no,
talking
I'm saying
about
you guys.
Hey, first of all, fuck
No,
you.
not you guys. The least favorite?
yeah.
Can't
you
believe
have,
you're
like-
actually answering this.
Do you have like
but I love
circular toes or something?
I do have
when
like
people have like
club feet.
circle toes.
You do?
Well, like they got really morphed from a hockey skate over time. So like
Oh, so you haven't had to get like a correction. You don't have to like go in there
No.
and like
no.
none of that.
Cool.
He has kind of a curved foot.
Yeah, well, I got
Well,
a pretty
hey.
good barrel. Like my burger locker is pretty strong these days. So.
Your burger locker.
It's pretty strong.
As in, like
You are built like a
there's
keg.
no abs. They're there, but
I
they're
wouldn't say
really,
that.
really tucked far away from the
tucked in.
surface. You know?
Well, they're shy.
Yeah, they're shy.
They're shy
Yeah, they're
these
shy.
days.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is
well,
so funny.
fair
oh
enough.
my
Okay.
God.
Anyways,
I'm going to get us back on track a
yeah,
little bit.
for sure.
Before we get into,
I can't believe
'cause
you
we-
answered that at all.
I know.
thought she was joking.
Before we get into spare hearts, because we have some questions that people wrote in that we want to get love advice from you from.
Or life advice. We really have to qualify.
life advice. Yeah, but love advice is kind of fun. But I wanted to just say, like, we'll obviously have you back to like rewatch an episode and do kind of a more classic format. But when you look back on your experience on Letterkenny, like, what is something that you kind of wish, whether it's like performance based or personally based, that you wish you could maybe change or do differently or something like that? Like, do you ever
interesting.
look back and feel that way, or is it just kind of all been good and you're just pleased with all of it?
I think there was a couple seasons where I was bored. I wasn't necessarily bored, but I mean, Riley and Jonesy were fairly confined to the way that they were, like certain vernacular, certain storylines. Where I guess, for lack of a better term, I was a little creatively bored.
Right.
Sounds bad when I'm saying it here, but that was just no. But in hindsight,
No, but that's fair enough.
but
You just wish there was a few more different types of scenes that Riley and Jonesy could have done?
no, it's more on me. I wish at the time I realized, it was my first show that I've done. At the time, I really wish I realized too. And I think I did a fairly good job, but I think I could have done a better job of being like, this moment of time is going to last forever. Find a way to make it more interesting. Find a way.
Find
a way to bring a fresh energy to it. That I think I still kind of did, but there are moments I'm sure if I rewatch them, like, maybe I.
That's something only you would pick up on, though, because
Yeah.
I can say confidently in watching this, and I know but I've seen later seasons, like I have watched the show, like I always watched it when I came out, and you always delivered like such a great, energetic, and like passionate performance.
Okay.
But sometimes I know what you
Yeah.
mean. It's like when you're on set for a long time, you're kind of like when you're playing the same role for a very long time, it is on you as a performer to like bring a fresh approach every season and like get creative and like, what are your intentions? Where's your character at? Like, and because Letterkenny was so joke forward, which we've discussed a lot, the actual acting ability, character development, intention behind the work could sometimes take a back seat if you weren't really cognizant of it. And that's obviously a mistake. But I think we all probably fell into that in moments, as you do with any character. But but it never read, just so you know.
Thank you.
Yeah, you should watch some. You probably should do a rewatch just because it is one of those things where you may think of it a certain way, but then you're just so critical of yourself in the moment.
Well, like there's so many
you can't see it truly.
Characters on the show that like there's so many episodes where I kind of don't like, not just like me aside from it. Like there's everyone on the show is so funny, and I would love to revisit some episodes that I completely forget about right now. That would be like, it's like, oh wow, this is cool.
So far for me, that's been every episode. It's like every single episode. I'm like, what the fuck? This is crazy.
And we'll definitely have you back, and we'll do we'll rewatch an episode. I think we just wanted to kind of have a chat with you because selfishly we really missed you, and we just wanted to see your face. Should we get into some spare hearts questions?
Let's do it.
Okay.
Hersey, are you feeling confident to answer some questions from the audience? Are you nervous about this? You excited?
No, I think it'll be fine.
You think it'll be good? Yeah. Do you generally give good advice, do you think?
I wouldn't say that, but it's it's user responsibility. Like that's ultimately they got to make the decision.
Hersey is buyer beware advice for sure. Oh, I ran into Mac in the park with his dog Toby.
I know,
so cute.
We
got to get all the dogs together.
Who's Mac?
Mac's a lovely friend of Hersey's.
Yeah, he's one of my. He's a good friend here in Toronto. He's actually part of the Film Royale. He's our marketing guy for our production company.
Nice.
You'll meet him eventually down the line. It's good.
He's got a very confident, chill vibe.
He really does. Yeah, he really does.
That's what Alana, as we were walking away, Alana was like, man, he's just like so chill and confident. He's just like very like, he's just one of those guys. It's just like, hey. And because he shakes your hand and he goes, Mac. Like he reminds you of his name in such a, like he goes in those circles a lot. So he's not afraid. He's not like,
I like when people do that.
He just lets you know.
He's one of the,
instead of being like awkwardly trying to put people in. Don't do that. Like no one remembers and they should.
Yeah, it's a classy move. It's a classy, you learn a lot.
Yeah.
I think before we move on, he's one of those guys that in social interactions doesn't really miss with different people, if that makes sense. Like, sometimes we all say something, like we have an interaction where like, what did I just do there? Like, do you know what I mean?
Every day.
Some more than others. Whereas Mac doesn't really, he always just seems to be very present on the level and one of the nicest guys I've ever met. So shout out to you, Mac. Love you, buddy.
Shout out Mac.
Shout out Mac.
Can't wait to be your friend, I guess.
Yeah, eventually,
Eventually.
He's got a cute dog. Well, that's the most important thing.
We're going to work together,
exactly,
right?
Yeah,
true.
Exactly.
Yeah. We got something cooking, and
you're.
So
I'm not part of this. Oh, never mind. Sorry, guys.
It might not be this movie, but it's definitely going to be another one.
Definitely another one.
Okay.
In 10 years, you're going to get your moment. It's going to be so exciting.
I appreciate that.
10 to 15, you're in, buddy.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
Trust me, we got some for you, okay? Just hang tight. You gotta hang tight.
Hold your breath.
Keep working on your craft and you'll get there.
Okay. Thanks, guys.
Okay. This is a cute, interesting question. Okay. Hey, Michelle and Evan, love the show, love the podcast, etc. This happened a little while ago, but it's something I could still use some perspective on. Not sure if this one's a doozy or I'm overthinking. I'm 37, an English guy adopted by Scotland.
Oh, sorry, you're going to have to do the rest in an accent.
Please don't make me do that. Scottish or English? Scottish is off the
English.
table.
You can't do Scottish. Yeah, in the world.
Okay, no, I can't. I'm a single dad now to a beautiful daughter who's my world. There's two main characters in this story, my buddy and my ex-wife. I'll start with the buddy. So this guy, we'll call him Gary. I met him at a party of a mutual friend over a decade ago, and we instantly clicked as buddies. He's always smiling and laughing, a really charming, fun, lighthearted dude. My ex, though, no good. I caught her cheating with her ex, but naive as I was, I trusted her and stuck with her. Eventually getting married and having our wonderful kid. Turned out my ex never stopped cheating, and she got manipulative too. I ended up really depressed until a friend of mine pointed out that she was being textbook abusive. I went into the research on abusive relationships, which broke the spell for me. We got divorced, and of course, my 3-year-old daughter's happiness became my instant priority. I had another great friend at the time. We'll call him John. I'd let John stay with me for a few months when he needed a place. And when my ex and I got separated, he invited me and my daughter to live with him rent-free. No questions asked, incredibly good guy. Importantly, though, my daughter was 3 years old and about to leave her original home for our new half and half custody arrangement. So I arranged a new home party for her. Got all my friends to come over and act amazed and excited as she showed off what little furniture and posters I'd been able to afford for her new room. Just trying to make the divorce transition not traumatic for a little kid. Here's the twist, though. The day of this party, my buddy Gary, his old friend of a long time, texted me and said, I'm not coming over later. I don't want to be a part of this shit show. The little kid's party. He said he was pissed at me for sticking with my ex so long after knowing she cheated. I was kind of stunned by this. I mean, sure, I was in the wrong to stick with my ex. I'm 100% an idiot there. But in that moment, it was about my little kid's happiness, right?
Yeah.
He didn't come to the party and we simply didn't speak since. I've moved on. My daughter's delightful, happy. I've still got my best friend, John. I've got my own place. I've, made amends with my ex. We're all good there. But still, I had this great friend once, and I wonder why my friend would back out of supporting a kid like that in such a critical moment. It's been a while, but I still haven't quite moved on from this. I don't know whether or not it's worth a conversation with him. Anyways, that's my submission. Hope you guys are having an excellent week. And let me know what you think. Thanks for reading. Did that make sense?
Yeah.
Kind of yeah.
That's a tough one, though.
It's weird. That's a weird, I understand. I think there's, when you're friends with somebody who's in an abusive relationship and they kind of keep going back to them and you keep complaining about this relationship you're in, I think people kind of get frustrated and annoyed.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a weird to punish the kid. I kind of feel like this guy's just an asshole.
Yeah, the timing of it seems really strange to me. Why did you choose to punish his daughter at the same time? Mm-hmm. I feel like maybe there's something going on more that's not said in that question beyond,
Guys, kids' birthday parties are so boring.
This wasn't a birthday party.
It was a divorce party.
It was a divorce. Look, your life is going to be okay.
Wow, Evan, you really are Slytherin, buddy. You really are.
No, you're right. It's the bad guy, John. Gary.
I guess my 2 cents would be to still reach out because be I'm sorry that these things happened. I'm a human being. I make mistakes, but I really liked having you as a friend.
Yeah, it's hard to make friends in an older age too. It's kind of like the ones that you have. They are valuable, and it sounds like he was an awesome friend at one point.
Yeah.
So you do want to know more about how that broke down.
Yeah.
What happened there. It is when you go through a breakup, you're just what happened? What did I do wrong?
Yeah.
So sometimes just getting clarity helps, getting a bit of closure.
True.
Even.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I feel like friend breakups are sometimes even more confusing.
Yeah.
Because it's people don't feel the obligation to really have conversations in the same way. It's you can kind of just disappear.
It's true.
Or it seems like
you don't have to break up with your friend, but you should if you really want to.
Though. Have you guys ever had friend breakups?
Fuck no.
No, not really.
Okay.
No, where someone's we can't hang out anymore.
Yeah.
Oh my God, have you?
Kind of, but we've always figured I've never been really close to somebody and then we have a falling out and then we don't fix it. It's always been fixed. But I've definitely had falling outs with friends. For one friend, this girl I was friends with all throughout high school, we had a falling out. When we moved to Vancouver, we were supposed to move in together and then
that's tough.
And then whatever happened. And then we literally didn't talk until for 10 years.
That's so sad.
Yeah.
That's so sad. Because you guys were so immature, though. You didn't know how to have the conversation. You didn't know how to forgive each other or whatever. Oh, it's so tough.
And then we went for drinks when I moved to Victoria and we just LOL'd. And
pick up where you left off.
I love that.
Yeah,
I love that.
That's wild.
We're well, that was obviously dumb. Anyways, hi. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, what's been going on for the last 10 years? It's like, just kidding. I've been stalking you on Instagram.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're just not prepared to have that awkward confrontational conversation, so you just skirt it. No?
Yeah, but you think like these guys are in their like late 30s. Which,
just because you're a 30-year-old man doesn't mean you're mature.
I was going to say, that doesn't mean that you're mature, but it's not like, you'd think that there'd be a little bit more, especially when there's like kind of serious things going on, or like a kid's, like, why would he pick that to like draw a hard line?
Again, maybe, now I'm not joking, but like maybe he just really didn't want to go to like a kid like divorce party thing. Maybe he was just like so kids. Uncomfortable and so like, it does sound like a pretty like intense situation, like to go to a party dedicated to like trying to raise the spirits of a 3-year-old child. To me, I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna get blackout drunk at this and ruin the party for sure. Because this sounds,
but like to say like, friends off, God. Like friends off is like that's pretty extreme. But I don't think that's what happened though. I think he was like, I'm not going to that shit show. I don't even understand what it is. And then the person who's hosting it is like, okay. And then they just never talked again. I don't think it was like, we're breaking up as friends. I think it was just like an unfortunate, probably awkward. Yeah.
And then too much time has gone by and then they just are like, no one knows how to reapproach.
And I'm not saying it wasn't the most fun party ever. Listen, I'm sure it was a great time. Okay. I'm sure it was. I could just see how, especially if you're a bit of like a socially anxious person or you don't like going to parties in general, this could be, doesn't sound
maybe something happened to him.
Chill.
Like maybe like they haven't talked and Gary's going through something and something's happened to him and he's not.
Look at this. Hersey the empath.
Yeah, Hersey the empath. What would you do if like, would you reach out and be like, hey, this, like, what would you do?
If it was, he's saying he still thinks about it. So I would reach out because he's still thinking about it and he's going to continually think about it until something happens. And if you just, he could go on his whole life and I'm not laughing. He could go on for a very,
no, you're totally right.
very long time and then be like, oh, I wish I did this. Sometimes just take the leap, just extend the olive branch. And then if he doesn't say anything, then you can move on,
Sometimes just asking, being the bigger person or whatever and trying to like mend whatever it is. It's really hard to make that first step. But when you do, it's like so easy because you're like, oh, I did it.
Exactly.
We're good.
Yeah. There's scarier things in life.
You never know. Oh yeah.
Like snakes.
Sharks.
Like Slytherin.
Getting a tattoo that looks like the sorting hat when you're trying to get a shark tooth.
When really, I'm a big man and it's a shark tooth.
I hope he listens to this podcast. And I hope he gets a cover up. I hope he gets a plaster.
Or I hope he just leans into, draws some eyes on there. It's the sorting hat.
The sorting hat.
Just make it the sorting hat.
It's like, I know what you mean. It's probably like it slopes down a little bit. It's got the eyes. And you're like,
it's got,
it's not a shark
that is so clearly the sorting hat. Sorry.
Maybe the tattoo artist decided to mess with them,
Yeah.
Anyways.
I wouldn't be surprised. He was like, oh, this fucking guy wants a big man shark tooth. I'm going to give him a sorting hat adjacent one. Yeah. Okay, this is another kind of cute. I chose cute questions because...
The last one was cute. Abusive wife, child of divorce, best friends are no longer talking.
Well, no, it just was sort of like wholesome in the way that wasn't like...
You are a Slytherin.
Whatever.
I know what you mean. Okay. It was about like
he wants to be friends with his pal. I'm just fucking with you.
Reconnection.
He wants reconnection with like a male friendship. I just think is nice, and I don't know. I just feel like I like the question. Sorry,
I liked the question too.
Okay, next question. My name is Nancy. You can use my real name. I'm a 58-year-old and I'm from New Hampshire. I could be wrong, but I'm probably one of the fewer older female fans of the show. An outlier on the bell curve, if you will. It would be interesting to find out if I was late to the Letterkenny party, blah, blah, blah. Okay. She likes Letterkenny. That's very sweet.
Nice. Thank you, Nancy.
Okay. At the moment, my love life is lacking through no fault of my own. Confidence. I like that. I don't go out very often. Okay. I think she's being sarcastic. I don't go out very often and keep my circle small to family and friends. However, there's someone who I fell in love with a long time ago. I met in 2002-ish through a friend and knew immediately that there was something there. He was there on a work visa from England. He could never seem to get it together because we were never single at the same time. He had to go back to England in 2008 and I've never really seen him in person again. He doesn't use social media, so we aren't in constant constant contact. Every couple of years, he will unblock his Facebook and we chat about what it would have been like to be together. But it begins and ends there.
Whoa.
Yeah. I have told him how I feel and he has said that he has feelings too. I don't know if he'll ever be able to move back to the States, and I'm 99.9% sure I'll never make it to England. What's a poor girl to do? Love to all, Nancy. 99.9%.
Wrong.
Is it just financial? Because if you can scrounge the financials to get to England, I think it's worth a visit. It's just a nice place to visit. Anyway.
Yeah. Hey, beautiful country.
Get
UK's
married
great.
quick, get the passport going, and
Oh yeah, yeah. Get that green card situation underway. Yeah.
I mean, this is like an over 20-year thing. 2002.
It's very
I mean,
romantic. Yeah.
it is, and it's like life is long-ish, but it's also really short. So I don't know. Like, there's not that many people that you really connect with, especially over that length of time where you still have feelings.
Yeah.
And you've actually met this person, right? This isn't like a catfish.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, let me just...
It's just like 2002. You met, right?
But imagine.
I think they've met for sure. Yeah, he was in the U.S.
I'd love to know if they did kisses or if it was just like...
did you guys do kisses?
Did you guys do kisses or was it
Yeah.
always just kind of like lingering stares and it never quite happened and then he moved back? Because that's very romantic. Because this is kind of like that whole, once you finally do kiss and it's terrible and the smell is broken.
And then you waited 20 years and you're like,
Yeah, you waited 20 years to figure out that that you guys have no chemistry. Because did you smell his neck?
Did you nuzzle his...
Yeah.
Did you nuzzle him?
The top
Did
of
you
his
smell
head?
the pheromones? Do you know if they
Andrew,
work?
for perspective, we were just our last episode. We were talking about, or the episode before, or whatever. We're talking about pheromones and how somebody's smell is really important to like sexual attraction.
Yeah, agreed.
Would you agree?
Yeah,
Like, if somebody is like really hot or whatever, but then you don't like the way they smell,
It's a tough thing to get over.
game over.
Yeah.
I've totally kissed a person and been like,
I didn't like that.
you smell.
Yeah.
I don't like your
You smell like
saliva.
baby powder. So
Yeah.
it makes me think that we're again maybe related like 3 generations back or something. Like there's that fear.
Yeah,
You're like, well, I don't like the way you smell.
Yeah.
Like, shouldn't I like that?
Yeah. I fully agree with you on the smell. Like on the smell. I think I have a sensitive nose. I think everyone has a sensitive nose probably, but
What do you want your your women to smell like, Jersey?
I just when you know, right?
You know exactly. It's pheromones.
Okay.
It's pheromones.
But like when it's
It's not
bad,
like
you
vanilla.
know it's
When it's
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
two camps.
Yeah.
And vice versa. So.
Tough when there's a tough smell going
It's a
on.
tough one.
I find it really hard to imagine someone thinks I smell bad though. Maybe I'm just being an asshole, but I feel like I pay a lot of attention.
You probably don't
I'm always
smell
really
bad.
worried about how I smell.
Do you smell bad? Like I feel like Alana would have ditched you.
Michelle, are you about to tell me that I smell bad? I feel like I'm watching your face right now, and I'm like, yeah, we spent like 3 months on a bus. Did I fucking smell bad?
No, I've never smelled you, and I've never thought you
smelled me?
No, I've never thought you smell bad.
Yeah.
No,
ever.
we're actually, this podcast is fucking done. I'm fucking out of
I don't
here.
give a-
Hers, do you want to take over?
Damn it.
No.
But yeah, they have met in person. So this guy, he came over and did a work visa, and that's how they knew each other. But then they were always like dating other people. Timing wasn't right. That is timing is a huge part of making relationships work.
Yeah.
Like it really is. It's not as simple as just like you just need love or attraction and then it just happens. It's like it really depends on where you're at in life, what you want, like what you're like. That's why it's so tough when timing doesn't
It's
line up.
heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. Timing can be one of the most heartbreaking things. I think all 3 of us are pretty romantic people.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we've all experienced that, like those missed timings, that misconnection stuff where you're like, you think about someone. I actually had this with someone once and I sent one of those emails like, it's too bad it never worked between us. Like, I just wanted you to know that I always thought I've sent this email before with fully, that was it. It was just closure email.
Yeah.
Like, I just want you to know what I think we had a cool time and it was really lovely and I think you're a cool person. I hope you have a great life.
Yeah.
And it was such a relief. Like I sent the email, she responded like, that's so nice. That's so like, what a sweet
And
thing.
did she share the sentiment?
She was very sweet. She was already like, I don't even remember what she wrote because half the thing is just getting it off your mind. Like not to be a selfish dick about it, but like most of it is like, I know this isn't going to happen. So how do I relieve my, no, oh my God, the opposite. I was like, my only agenda is I can't take not saying something
Yeah.
Because I'm like having dreams about it or something. You know, I'm having dreams and I just got to get this off my head.
Yeah.
Did the dream stop?
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah. Of course they stopped. Can you imagine? I'm like still in love with this person. Alana, I'm so sorry. This was years ago. This was years ago.
No, but I do think there is like that's such a great insight because sometimes you do just need to say the thing out loud and then it has way less of an impact on you.
Yeah, and I'm gonna let you go or whatever.
And I'm gonna let you go with love and not hold on to it, but still acknowledge that like I may still love you on some level. It's maybe not like romantic or whatever, but it is just like, oh, that's nice, and I hope you're good. And that's
you're either sending this email or you're going to England. I'm sorry, those are your two options.
Yes, those are your two options. Go, Nancy. Listen up.
Yeah. I agree.
Because like you need to know first of all how he currently smells because I don't know, maybe there's a hormonal shift. And like maybe
it's true. Every 10 years,
like cigarettes and black tea like they do in England.
Yeah.
Oh my god! If my wife met me when I was in high school and she smelled the Axe body spray, there's no way we'd be together right now.
Yeah.
I was covered in kilo or whatever. Like there's no way
I also dosed Axe
that we'd be
a lot.
together. Everyone in my school.
Which Axe what were you guys wearing in high school as your scent?
I can't remember.
I will say though, I was ahead of the curve and I came back to it, but I'm wearing original Old Spice again as just the deodorant.
Nice.
I wear Terre d'Hermes as my smell, but I wear Old Spice under my arms, and I was wearing that back in the day as well. So I was right.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's a good
Old
smell.
Spice
The original one's good.
Smell.
Yeah. Some of the newer ones are a bit off though. I don't necessarily like all the Old Spice
original one
smells.
you're using, correct? The original? Yeah,
Yes.
that one's
Yes.
still I think king.
It's clean.
Yeah.
Well, and it smells different on every person.
Exactly. Women can wear it. It smells great on them too.
True.
It all comes down to
It does,
pheromones,
yeah.
Nancy. I think like I don't like you saying 99.9% never gonna
like
go.
that
I think
either.
that's such a limiting
That's a
thing
low
to say. Like,
percentage of you doing low
Yeah.
percentage of you taking the. I think I'm gonna stick with like take your shot. What are you waiting for?
Yeah. Buy the ticket.
Like you're gonna
so like,
go.
but what do you mean? Go to England? Go to
go to
England.
England.
Go to England.
You're gonna die one day, and like we all are. Like take your shot.
Yeah.
Or
We're all going to England with you.
Let's all go to England. Let's meet her in England, and we'll vlog it.
That would actually be so fun. I would love to go to England with you guys. I spent a year living in England and didn't get to do anything that like an adult can do because I like couldn't afford anything. I'd love to go back and be able to go out for dinner.
Where'd you live in England? I didn't know that.
I was in Hailsham in East Sussex for a year for school when I was 17.
Nice.
And all I did was go to the National Gallery because it's free. So I would just go to London. I go to the National Gallery all the time and wander around and look at paintings like wistfully and like think about like romance and like life and love.
That's cool.
And I'm like,
too, though.
I've got like a long shag and full white tracksuit and fat farms. And I'm like, it's like fucking awful look.
But that feels like very London core.
It's very London core, yeah. But I could go back now and be like, and
you'd have to wear like what are the tracksuits that they wear? Like lads
Adidas, like
wear?
a full.
No,
I'm thinking
You want me to wear a Nike Tech Fleece
or like a Kangol something,
like a Puma.
You know,
like Puma.
It's something I don't know, like what's like a chav look?
Okay, well anything that Kisa would wear.
Like Adidas.
Train spotting.
Yeah, Adidas.
Kiso with like a little
Yeah.
gold chain,
Yeah.
And his gold tooth now.
and a gold tooth. Yeah. I mean, I can't wait to get to
grill
that.
if you'd
Once we get to the spelling bee episode and we talk about your grill, we're gonna have a whole episode about your
Do you
grill.
still wear
We're gonna go all
from time
through
to time?
it.
I brought it back. Yeah, I let it rest for a little bit because it just felt off to me. And then and now I wore it. Actually, I hosted a Christmas holiday party, and we all got really dressed up. And then I wore the grill.
Let's
the grill
go.
during the Christmas
Yeah,
it
holiday
felt
party?
festive.
Yeah.
How did you not include this detail when I asked you about your holiday party?
Because you didn't really ask me about it.
It's crazy. This is like, I didn't know you were doing a character that night. That's fantastic.
No, it wasn't. I just wore it, and it just felt like me.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm back.
I reached out. I'm not sure if I actually reached out to your grill guy, but I remember when you got it, I was like, could I pull that off? And then I like backpedaled very
The
hard.
answer
very
is
quickly.
yes. And now what I want is I want like two. I want both my fangs, but I want
fangs are
silver.
cool.
Do you think I
don't
could?
want gold. I want silver.
Like,
Yep.
really?
Yo, if you got grills, I would be scared of things you like. I would be afraid about you.
Do your low
Low set? Yeah,
No,
true.
Hersey
Bottom
with
set.
no. Hersey with grills. He would be playing like the character from Spring Breakers. Like he would look like fucking riffraff.
But why
I'd
not?
be scared.
But again, this is all coming back to him being a Florida man. So like
Florida
go
man.
into it.
Fucking like I'd be like, show me your gator collection.
I would love to do a role like that. Like maybe not as creepy as Franco did it. That was a little
he was getting pretty. I mean, it was pretty like there was like underage girls, and he's such a fucking freak with them. I think that's the vibe.
Yeah,
right?
that's the vibe.
You wouldn't go. Yours would be way more like fun Florida man.
Maybe more fun Florida man. But still, like, there's an element of creepiness to it for sure.
Always. I mean,
but it just depends. Like, also, the guy who made my grill's name is, I actually don't know his first name, but his company name is just simply Toronto Grills. And he does all the, like, ASAP mob guys.
Yeah.
And he did, like, Gucci Mane's, like yellow diamond lemonade bottom set.
Yeah.
My only regret is that I didn't actually like, he's like, do you want a diamond in it? Do you want, and he like gifted it to me because he was a fan of Letterkenny. He's friends with my cousin.
Oh, so I should reach out.
I think the time is over. It's too big. I think it's too big now. But I kind of wish I went. I wish I got both fans. Yeah. That's my only regret. So maybe that's what I'll do if I ever.
I'm sure if you reached out, he'd probably still
be like, hey.
Remember that?
He's like, no.
Hi, Toronto Gwills.
Hi, Toronto Gwills. Can I just come back in for another sip? He's
like, I got a lemonade, Gwill.
Just like a bottom lemonade set, please.
No, I'm the same as Hersey. I don't think I can get away with one because if I had one, I'd look like a fucking creep. Like I think there's only so much I can do to myself before I look like this mustache is as far as I can go.
I like the mustache.
Any further? Thanks, man.
Yeah. Right.
Any further? Well, especially with a little bit of the beard now, right?
Get a tooth gem. That's an easy. Yes, what? It would look so good. There's no world I look good with a tooth gem. Yes, I think you do. I'd like you to just try it. Please.
So you want me to stop acting? I guess, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm too threatened by your talent.
That's fair.
Okay, let's bring it back to Nancy because
who's Nancy?
I think shoot your shot like Andrew said. Either go to England or like write an email and just be like, look, I've been thinking about you romantically for 25 years. I know the timing hasn't worked out, but I'm 57. You're presumably around the same age. Like you don't have to be maybe this direct, but like to this and essentially like throw yourself in the ring and like see what he says. And why not?
I would be if I'm going to send the email and come out to England though, I would do like hey, by the way, I'm coming to England anyway. Just wondering if you were in town.
That is so.
That's what I would do. Sorry. I would do chance encounter.
You'd apply pressure or maybe.
No, I'd be like, hey, I'm gonna be in town in England. Like,
like casually, like, hey,
England in the town of England.
You're like, I'm visiting.
But what if he's like, oh no, or never responds? And
then you have your answer.
But then she spent all this money to go to England.
That's true. That would be a bummer. It'd be a really sad trip. But then she would have like a romantic comedy. She would meet another English guy, and she probably just likes the accent. To be fair, like what the fuck? He's probably just like a cool.
You're
accent
saying maybe she should go and find like a new Englishman.
Yeah. There are a dime a dozen out there.
New and improved.
Sorry, you were wrapping this up. My bad, Michelle. You keep going.
There's no rules here, honestly. I'm just kind of like, if expense is a hindrance and and it's a big trip to make and to just be like, like casually, whatever. It's like, no, I don't know. I kind of think that being direct, especially like at that point in your life and you've known this person for a really long time, I don't know. It's like, don't waste your own time or somebody else's. Like, just say what you mean, go for it. And if he is receptive, you'll know. And if he's not, then you can kind of maybe move on, which would be also fine.
Say what you need to say.
Yeah.
I agree.
Everybody stop dicking everybody around.
Yeah, everybody tell one truth today, okay? If you're listening to this podcast, you go send that email you've been meaning to send. You send that text.
Yeah.
You just send it today.
Send it.
And then tell us about all the fallout from our horrible advice and send us your next question. This is great fodder. And it'll be cyclical.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a great model.
And we'll just keep this party and we'll get Andrew back to give more love advice.
Yeah. And when we'll just keep the shit hits the fan, they come to you guys. You turn the fan up and you throw more shit.
Then we turn the fan up way
higher. Yeah, this comes so cool.
Oh my God, I'm still waiting to hear about this. Like last week, 2 weeks ago, we had someone who asked a question about their noisy neighbor who's a piece of shit, and he has this really loud car he has on at 1 a.m. and he vapes in his girlfriend's face and stuff. And we were like, confront him, call the cops. Like, I want to hear if she's okay. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. She's in America. Well, I'm like, I don't know.
What? Yeah, some people. I do think some people, once they know they've annoyed someone and there's some tension, they do it on purpose just to get the reaction. And so
that's so weird.
Yeah.
Hersey's definitely speaking from experience.
No.
Being the person who annoys people, for sure.
No. I'm not.
No.
I'm not that. I'm not.
Hersey started the fire in the garbage bin. He's like, I chased some kids
I'm
away.
not that petty.
Just lying.
I'm not that petty.
No.
Yeah, sure.
But you have. We don't have time to get into it now, unfortunately, but we will the next time you're here, and I'd like you to kind of maybe prep some answers, call your PR person, because I would like to talk about the Sudbury nightlife that we all engaged in on the next episode of Spare Heart.
For sure.
Parts that you join us in.
Yeah, I would love to. And I think there's, a few other people who could also really add to that as well.
Yeah. It's not all on your shoulders.
No, but I definitely have that. Yeah, I definitely have. It was an interesting experience.
Just how many times were you kicked out of a strip club? Okay, well, thank you guys so much.
Thank you so much for being here.
I was kicked out of I was kicked out of 2 or 3 bars in that one single night, actually. But
yeah, that's a big night.
I think
it wasn't your fault, right? It's just because of your face.
The strip club, they just looked at me and they were like, absolutely not. So
crazy.
So I'm like,
it was the tooth.
It might have been a moment where I thought I looked normal, but I really just looked really drunk. But I don't think I give off like a crazy drunk face, do I?
You don't. No, you don't.
Yeah. So,
do you think maybe they were like too handsome?
Yeah, you're ruining the vibe in here.
We can't risk
either
it.
way, they just didn't like me, and they made it really clear right away that I was not welcome.
Yeah,
and I was with Teddy, and maybe it was.
Oh, that's I think maybe
but
guilty by association.
Yeah, I think so.
The next time I come on, whatever it is, there's more to that story about because Teddy had my.
Oh my God! Should we bring on Teddy with you? That would be a dangerous combo.
I think that'd be pretty dangerous, but I'd love that.
Okay, we could do you, Teddy, and us, and we'll do like a cocktail hour episode where we all have a drink in hand.
Let's do it.
So funny.
Would be.
That'd be.
I think people get a lot of joy out of that episode.
Yeah, and that would be our last episode for sure.
Yeah.
They definitely get something.
Yeah.
Andrew, thank you so much for joining us. Is there anything you wanted to like talk about or promote or let the people know that you're up to right now?
No, we're gonna surprise them down the line.
Keep them on their toes.
Yeah. Whoa! Look at you.
Hey,
doesn't even need to promote.
Thank you for having me. I love what you...
Thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, I love what you guys are doing. I think it's going to be... I'm excited to see where you guys go with this. I really am. Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
Florida only.
Yeah, literally. We'll talk.
Okay.
We love you so much, and you've been it's been so fun to watch you like in these early seasons, and we'll definitely have you back so you can also watch an episode. But you're very, very talented, and you should know that. You should be really proud of the work you've done.
Thank you.
Yay.
And just to cap us off here, which one were you? Were you Riley or Jonesy?
Which
I'm Jonesy. Riley.
Okay.
Riley. I don't know.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. We're hockey. We're just called hockey. That's simply hockey.
Simply hockey.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks, buddy.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.